When my wife told me first that we were offered this award, she told me that we were the Jewish parents of the year. Um, it's not what the award is apparently, but it made me think of a humorous story that people probably heard before. That a boy comes home from school one day and he tells his mother, "Guess what? I got a part in the play. I'm the Jewish father." The mother gets very upset, goes in to speak to the teacher, says, "I want my son to have a speaking part in the play." Um, Baruch Hashem, my wife told me I can speak, so I even have a speaking part. I'm not the Jewish father, but I'm the award that they mentioned. I also had the interesting experience in the purchase of this building that Mila was talking about and the Rabbi Schneiderman was talking about. I got to be their lawyer, the school's lawyer in purchasing the building. At first, it seemed like, well, they described this as trying to emulate Abraham Avinu when he bought the Meiras Hamakpela. That he didn't bargain with Ephron. He paid the full price that Ephron asked for, and they decided somehow they were going to do the same thing. They didn't bargain with the seller. They were going to pay the full price. At first, they couldn't find a bank that would. We gave them the deposit. They were able to get a deposit, and then unfortunately, the banks said that the building we just can't lend that type of money on this building. Having been raised in a liberal household, I guess, and maybe some of us also in the group also grew up in liberal houses, but ultimately, after we delayed the closing again and again, finally they found a Schwarza bank, a black bank, Carver. Somehow they were willing to do it for a Jewish organization. No other bank was, but here the local Goyish bank, Carver, was able to and willing to support them in this. That was a bit of a miracle in itself. And then came finally the day of the closing. They didn't have enough money. They were short this, short that. They ended up borrowing from everybody. Even the seller himself lent them some of the money to buy his building. And they came to me, I think a day or two before the closing. They said, and I, as soon as I got the call, I knew where this was going. They said, "We need somebody to guarantee our loan." And I said, "Well, who do you think can do that?" And they said, "Well, maybe you know somebody." When I was working at a law firm years ago in Manhattan, the senior partner there told me that a guarantor is a fool with a pen. So now you're looking at a fool who had a pen. So, but Baruch Hashem, it was the guarantee. I think only lasts a few years, and then I'm out of it. Anyway, I was thinking about when they pay so much for a building, is it a good investment? It just reminded me once a story of one of my children. We were near the fruit store and he asked me for money to go buy some apples. So I gave him $20. I said, "Okay, go buy a bag of apples, come back and bring me the change." He came back with a bag of apples and I said, "Okay, now where's the change?" Oh, and he handed me a few coins. I said, "Well, this whole bag of apples was $20? And he said, yeah, it was." I said to him, "Well, did you buy the most expensive apples in the whole store?" He was like, yeah, I did. And I myself, I buy apples. I buy the cheapest ones I can find on sale. So I started to get a little bit upset, but I said to him, "Why did you buy such expensive apples?" And he said, "Tati, they were for you. I wanted you to have the best ones." So I think that's maybe where they were going with this purchase of the building, that they wanted the children to have the best location and to have the best of everything, which is what they're trying to do in educating the children. So ultimately, it will prove to be the best for the children, and the children are very happy in this school. So thank you to the school and to the management. And I remember right after the closing, after they had borrowed from 100 different places, Mila came to me and said, "Okay, now what do we owe you for your legal work?" And I said, "Okay, well, I'll send you the bill one day, but that day won't be for a long time. L'chaim.